Hi everybody, it's Chris from the Evermore podcast, your Newcastle United podcast on the Evermore YouTube channel. Back with another Rumour Has It video. We're doing loads of these because there's so many names being linked. It is silly season. Some names we're interested in, some names we're not particularly interested in, but we're going to try and cover as much as we can because we're really keen to get you guys feedback as well. Just before we do, if you haven't already, we always ask you, please, can you click like and subscribe? It really helps the channel grow. We've got some great numbers over the weekend since we've been doing some of these reaction videos, so I know you guys like them. We've had some great feedback. Thank you so much for that. Me and Mark really appreciate it, as do all the lads. And if you haven't, yes, please click that like button and that notification bell so you know when the next Rumour Has It video will be coming out. So we've got a couple of names to cover now. Now, for me, these two are a no. They might be different for you guys, but obviously just let us know what you think in the comments below. We massively appreciate it. So we've got two names on the cards here, and the first one we're going to cover is Memphis Depay. Now, we're just pulling up one of the brilliant stat slides that Mark has been doing for these shows, which are absolutely awesome. Loads of information. He put Sky Sports to shame, does our stat man. But you can see there, obviously, most of you will know who Memphis Depay is. He's 28 years old. He plays for Barcelona. He's a Dutch international. You know, we all remember him from going to Manchester United at quite a young age. He was 22. He just left PSV Eindhoven. He was brilliant there. He got nearly 40 goals in nearly 100 games or something like that. And he went to Manchester United, got the number 7. Loads of everyone thought he was going to be an absolute superstar. And ended up bombing, really. He had 33 appearances and only 2 goals over a 2-year period. And then he was shipped back to Lyon, where he smashed in loads of goals. He got 63 goals in 139 games. And he's moved to Barcelona. And so far, for Barcelona, as we can see from that, he had 28 appearances, 12 goals, and 2 assists. So the boy knows where the onion bag is. He's definitely skillful. There's no doubt about that. At 28 years old, he's kind of at the peak of his powers. Now, the rumor from the Barcelona kind of chats and social media and all the other kind of links and transfer websites is that Barcelona will be willing to accept 20 million euro for Memphis Depay because they're trying to free up some space in the squad to sign Robert Lewandowski. You know, Lewandowski's just come out and said that he's kind of journey is over at Bayern, so he's definitely looking for a move. And there were stories that he basically told his agent, do everything you can to get me to Barcelona. That would be a hell of a sign of Barcelona. There's no doubt that would be a huge upgrade on Memphis Depay. As good of a player as he is. You can see from the stat slide that Mark's put up there, he spent most of his time in the kind of forward position. 28 appearances in there. He's moved over to the left-hand side. He's played attacking midfield. And he's had a couple of substitute appearances. In the Champions League, got 6 appearances, no goals, no assists. 3 appearances in the Europa League with 1 goal. As you can see there in Ligue 1, you know, he had a brilliant record. Now, some of the key stats for Memphis Depay, you know, you can see there, obviously, goals. He's in a really high percentile of kind of goals per 90 minutes there for Barcelona at 0.46. So he's in the kind of 69th percentile of the top European 5 leagues that Mark's worked out there. You know, pass completion as well, 75.2%. He's in a high percentiles for that. Pass attempts as well, touches, key passes. So he is a talented player, but what worries me a little bit about Memphis Depay is I'm not sure he's the right character for the club. You know, he does seem to be a bit of trouble. Now, you know, with these talented players, you do often get that. You got to take the rough with the smooth. When we signed Saint-Maximin from Nice, you got to remember that Patrick Vieira kind of had enough of him as well because he was a bit ill-disciplined, you know, and obviously ASM has been superb for us. But, I mean, Memphis Depay is an interesting one. If you can get him for kind of, you know, anywhere between kind of 15 to 18 million, does it represent good business, especially when we signed Chris Wood for 25 million quid? So I'm a little bit kind of, I say no because I don't think he's the right character. I'd rather get Ekitike coming in, which we'll be doing a Rumour Has a video on him pretty soon as the story's mounting about him. I would rather have Ekitike coming in because I think you get more out of a younger player who's 19 years old, who's got, you know, bags of potential, bags of pace. You know, I think he wouldn't be overly upset about playing second fiddle to Callum Wilson. I don't think Memphis Depay would want to come in here and be second fiddle to Callum Wilson. And I don't think that Memphis Depay is good enough to be our main man leading the line. He's more of a kind of number 10 type role. Potentially him and Saint-Maximin are getting each other's way, but for me, it's a no. But I mean, obviously, he is a quality player. So, you know, if you can sign a guy like that for that level of money, then, you know, potentially there's something to look at. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below about Depay. It's certainly a no for me. I think he's a bit of a bad attitude. And I just think it would just cause real unrest in the squad. That's not the kind of player we want. Potentially, this is another one of those stories where the agent's just throwing Newcastle's name out there to try and give his client a better deal, really. So we're going to move on to the next player who's been linked to us as well. He's a bit closer to home. It is Harry Winks. Now, it's an interesting one with Harry Winks. He's 26 years old. At one point, he looked like he was going to be a mainstay in that Spurs midfield. He was getting caps for England, kind of a hard-working player. He breaks a play up well. As you can see from the stats there as well, his pass completion's quite good. His pass attempts, his touches, he does get dispossessed. Not a lot, but a fair bit. His kind of expected assists there are quite high. His interceptions are really high. So in terms of a defender that can win the ball back and start the play again, he's not a bad shout. In terms of his appearances, he had 19 appearances. This last season gone, no goals, 1 assist, but a lot of them have been from the bench. 3 appearances in the Conference League, and the season before that he had 15 appearances again, no goals, no assists. 8 appearances in the Conference League. He's 26 years old. He's still a young lad. There's time for Harry Winks to improve, but the question I've probably got about that is he any better than what we've got? I mean, sure, Longstaff's just signed a new contract. So, you got to look at that midfield. You've got Jonjo Shelvey, you've got Bruno Guimaraes, you've got Joe Linton already, Joe Willock, and sure, Longstaff, who signed a new deal. Is Harry Winks any better than those players? I'm not so sure. I mean, potentially he might be better than Longstaff, but Longstaff wouldn't sign a new deal if Harry Winks was coming in. So again, I think this is a little bit of agent talk to try and get the lad a better move. If Winks is away from Spurs and it looks like Conte doesn't fancy him, and to be honest with you, at 26 years old, I think Harry Winks has got to be asking himself, does he want to sit and rot at his boyhood club, longer than he already has? You got teams coming up, the likes of, Bournemouth coming up, Fulham coming up. He wouldn't have to leave London. So I can see Harry Winks signing for those guys, and potentially, again, throwing Newcastle's name in there might just increase the offer from those teams to potentially steal him from Newcastle. But I really don't think if we're going to bring another midfielder in this close season that it will be Harry Winks. I mean, there was some talk, I did hear some chatter from some guys, but it could just be bullshit, that potentially Jonjo Shelvey might be on his way. I'm not sure that'll happen. I think Shelvey's playing some of the best football of his career. I think he's got another season or two at this level under this manager, and I think if he keeps putting in performances like he has, controlling the play, getting on the ball, doing what he does, then there's no reason to me why Jonjo Shelvey shouldn't be part of this project moving forward. I don't think signing another centre midfielder is a huge concern at the minute. And I think we have other areas where we need to strengthen. We've already talked about that. Mark talked about Henderson in goal. That'll be a fantastic deal. I think, Dubravka does have his faults, and for everything that he does well, I think Henderson would be a massive upgrade in that. As we mentioned, Ekitike coming in as a cover for Callum Wilson when he's injured, maybe more kind of width presence as well with, like Moussa Diaby. These players, and Sven Botman as well, these players are understandable links. And I think those kind of players would be the guys that we're after. I'm not sure Harry Winks would really be a player that Eddie Howe would want to go for. Squad depth, yes, but as I mentioned, we've already got loads of midfielders. I just can't see it, to be honest. I think it's a bit of paper talk. But we want to bring you these kind of links as well, because we're interested to hear what you guys have got to say in the comments below. Let us know, and obviously, as I mentioned from the start of the show, if you haven't already, please consider clicking that like and subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so every time another Rumour Has It video comes out, or a deal done video, like we've done with Dan Ashworth recently comes out, then obviously you'll get that little notification to let you know that we're on, and come and check us out. So for now, that's Chris signing off. Let's keep supporting that team with Call United. We'll be back with loads more Rumour Hazards, I'm sure, for the good and the bad, for players we want and don't want. But these two are a definite no from me. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Take it easy, guys. Speak soon.